My best friend stole my girlfriend, so I became his stepfather. Okay, I'm still processing everything that's happened, and I don't even know where to begin. This feels like one of those messed up soap operas, but it's real life, and I'm stuck in the middle of it. So, 27 million, have been best friends with Chris, 28 million, for years. We were inseparable throughout high school and college. Basically, we were like brothers, always hanging out, supporting each other. And I thought we were solid. We even worked together at the same office for a while. But things went south in a way I never expected. It all started when I met Julia, 26F. She was a friend of a friend, and we hit it off immediately. She had everything I was looking for: beautiful, smart, funny, and we just connected. I was really into her, and she was into me. For a while, everything seemed perfect. We dated for about a year, and I thought I had found the one. But here's where the betrayal came in. Chris, my best friend, started acting weird around Julia. He'd always make little comments about her, and he was constantly texting her, calling her, and I thought it was just friendly stuff at first. I didn't think much of it because, best friends, right? But things got suspicious when I noticed he'd be extra charming around her when we hung out. He'd find any excuse to spend time with her one-on-one, and I didn't know what to think. Then one day, I found out that Julia had been texting Chris behind my back for weeks. I confronted her about it, and she admitted that she had developed feelings for him. She told me that, over time, she realized she was more attracted to him than me. She said that I was a great guy, but it was just the way things happened. I felt my heart shatter. My own girlfriend, the woman I thought I was building a future with, had fallen for my best friend. It didn't end there. Chris admitted that he'd been aware of the feelings Julia had for him, and instead of telling me, he'd been fostering it. He said he didn't want to hurt me, but he couldn't help it. They started dating right after Julia and I broke up, and just like that, my best friend had stolen my girlfriend. I was completely blindsided. Now, I know I should have cut ties with both of them right then and there, but here's where it gets even more complicated. Julia and I had talked about starting a family one day, and she had a daughter from a previous relationship, Maddie, 4F. I had gotten really close to Maddie over the year Julia and I were together. I loved that little girl like she was my own. So when Julia and Chris started dating, it wasn't just about losing her. It was about losing the family dynamic I had come to love. After a few months of trying to move on, I realized that I couldn't just let go of Maddie. I had spent so much time with her, taking her to parks, teaching her to ride her bike, and reading her bedtime stories. It hurt knowing she was going to grow up without me around. So, despite everything that had happened, I made a decision I never thought I would. I became her stepfather. I knew it would be complicated, but I was willing to put the past behind me for Maddie's sake. I reached out to Julia and Chris and told them I wanted to stay involved in Maddie's life. They were hesitant at first, but after some awkward conversations, they agreed. So, I stepped into that role, trying to navigate being a father figure to Maddie while still dealing with the emotional mess Chris and Julia had created. Now, I'm in this weird limbo where I'm the stepfather to my best friend's daughter, while he's the man who's dating the woman I once loved. There are days when I feel like I'm going crazy. It's hard not to feel like a fool for going along with this, but I can't bear the thought of Maddie growing up without me. Here's where I'm really struggling. I can't figure out if I did the right thing. I know I should probably walk away and never look back, but I can't. Maddie needs me, and I can't abandon her just because of some messy adult drama. I've been thinking about counseling to work through the anger I feel toward both Chris and Julia, but I'm not sure if that'll even help. Should I keep playing this role for Maddie's sake? Or am I setting myself up for more emotional devastation in the future? I'm torn between my desire to be a good person and the rage I feel every time I look at Chris. or think about what happened. My mom hired a private investigator to spy on me, and now I don't know what to do. Long post. This is something I never thought would happen in a million years, and I don't even know where to begin. I, 22 million, am in college, and I've always had a pretty normal relationship with my mom, 50 degrees Fahrenheit. She's a little overprotective, but that's not uncommon, right? Well, last week I found out that my mom hired a private investigator to spy on me. I'm absolutely livid and can't even look at her the same way anymore. Here's the background. I've been seeing this girl, Emily, 21F, for a few months now. We've been hanging out and spending a lot of time together, and things are going well. But my mom doesn't approve of her. She doesn't like that Emily is too independent and that she's not a traditional type of girl. My mom has always been a little judgmental, but this felt like something more. I started getting weird messages from my mom asking me where I was going, who I was with, and even some specific details about Emily. At first, I thought it was just my mom being nosy, but then I found out she had hired someone to follow me around. She was getting reports on everything I did, who I hung out with, and where I went. When I confronted her, she tried to justify it by saying she just wanted to protect me, but I felt completely violated. This wasn't just about her being worried. It was an invasion of my privacy, and I can't even imagine why she would do this to me. Now, I'm wondering how to handle this. I don't know if I should cut her off for a while, or just confront her more seriously about her trust issues. It feels like the foundation of our relationship has been shattered, and I'm not sure how to rebuild it. Any advice?
My brother took my inheritance and now I can't trust him anymore. I need to vent because I can't stop thinking about what happened and I'm not sure how to feel anymore. I, 25F, come from a family of 4, my parents, me, and my older brother Jason, 29M. My parents have always been pretty fair with everything, or at least that's what I thought. When my dad passed away last month, we were devastated. He'd been sick for a while, but still, it felt like it happened too soon. Anyway, after his funeral, my mum sat us down and told us that Dad had left a will, and we'd be going through it. Mum seemed oddly distant, but I brushed it off. The will reading was supposed to be straightforward. There weren't any major surprises expected, just the usual stuff. My brother would get the family cabin since he spends a lot of time up there, and I was supposed to get Dad's vintage car, a car I've loved since I was little. But here's where it all went sideways. When the lawyer read the will, it turns out Jason didn't just get the cabin, he also inherited the car. And not only that, but he also inherited half of the money Dad had in his bank account, leaving me with a fraction of what I was promised. My mum was just sitting there, completely quiet, not defending me at all. I was in shock. I confronted Jason later that day, and he told me that Dad had wanted him to have the car and the money because he needed it more. Jason has a stable job and doesn't need anything from Dad, but he was acting like he'd won the lottery. I know it's not about the material things, but this felt like a slap in the face. My dad had told me many times that the car would be mine when he passed, and now it's gone. I've tried talking to Mum about it, but she just says there's nothing we can do because it's legally binding. I feel like Jason betrayed me, and now I don't even know if I can trust him. I'm thinking of cutting him off, but I'm scared of making the family situation worse. Should I just let this go and move on? Or should I confront him again and demand what I was promised?
My sister married the man who cheated on me, and now I'm forced to spend holidays with them. This is a tough one, and I'm honestly still trying to wrap my head around everything that's happened. So I'm hoping sharing this here will help me make sense of the situation. Please bear with me, this is a long one. I, 29 million, was in a long-term relationship with Laura, 28F, for almost 5 years. We met in college, and from day one, I thought she was the one. We shared so many of the same interests, laughed at the same jokes, and even had the same future goals. It felt perfect. We lived together for 3 years before I proposed, and I was absolutely sure she would say yes. Well, about 6 months after that, everything came crashing down. I had been busy with work at the time, trying to land a big promotion. One weekend, I was going to be away for a business trip, but I came back early to surprise Laura. When I walked through the door, I found her in bed with my older brother, Ethan, 31 million. It took me a while to process what I was seeing. Ethan was supposed to be my best friend, my confidant, and I thought Laura and I were solid. But here they were, betraying me in the worst way possible. At first, they both denied it, but I knew the truth. The looks on their faces, the awkwardness in the room, there was no denying what had just happened. My world came crashing down in an instant. My brother, the person I trusted more than anyone, and the woman I loved, had been cheating on me for months. I ended things immediately with Laura. The pain of it all was unbearable, but I had to walk away. I moved out, and for the longest time, I didn't speak to either of them. The betrayal was something I couldn't just let go of, especially when it involved two people I loved and trusted. Here's where the situation gets even more complicated. My sister, 26F, Sarah, who I'm really close with, stood by me throughout the entire mess. She was furious at both Ethan and Laura for what they did to me, and we spent a lot of time talking about how to move on from the situation. Time passed, and after about a year, I began to heal. I started dating again, focusing on myself and my career, trying to rebuild my life. That was until one day when Sarah called me out of the blue to tell me she was engaged to Ethan. My first reaction was disbelief. "What? Are you serious?" I said to her. She said she had always had feelings for him, but after I broke up with Laura, Ethan was more available, and they had started seeing each other. I felt my stomach drop. The man who had betrayed me was now with my sister. She tried to justify it by saying that they were both adults and that I should be happy for her. But no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't shake the feeling of betrayal. Sarah knew how much Ethan hurt me, how much pain he caused, and now she was marrying him. I tried to keep my distance, but Sarah insisted that I be a part of their wedding. I didn't want to go. I didn't want to see Ethan, and I definitely didn't want to pretend everything was okay. But Sarah kept saying how important it was to her. She told me she loved me and that family should come first. Reluctantly, I agreed to attend the wedding, but inside I felt like I was betraying myself. The wedding day arrived, and it was awkward from the start. I could barely make eye contact with Ethan or Laura, who was now somehow best friends with my sister. I felt like the odd one out at my own family event. And the worst part? I couldn't even fully enjoy being there because it felt like I was being forced to watch my own personal nightmare unfold in front of me. But here's the kicker. During the reception, Laura approached me, apologizing again for what happened. She said that she regretted everything, that she had made a mistake. She asked if I could ever forgive her. I couldn't bring myself to say anything. I just nodded, and she left me standing there, feeling like a fool. It's been a few months since the wedding, and things haven't gotten easier. I've been to a few family gatherings, and every time, I feel like I'm walking on eggshells. The tension between Ethan and me is so thick you could cut it with a knife. I'm forced to interact with them, but it's impossible to pretend everything is fine. Every holiday, every family dinner, it's the same thing. I'm constantly reminded of the betrayal. Now I'm at a crossroads. My sister is happy, and I don't want to ruin her joy, but I feel like I've lost so much because of her decisions. I don't know if I can fully forgive her for marrying Ethan, and I'm not sure if I'll ever be able to look at him the same way. I'm stuck between holding on to the anger or letting it go for the sake of family. So here I am, forced to spend holidays with the people who hurt me the most. I've been trying to move on, but I'm not sure I ever will. Thanks for watching this video. Please leave a like and subscribe to the channel.